Good morning. So today we are talking about decision making, and we're going to focus on making decisions as a group. So what I'm going to bring up the most is probably FFA meetings, just because that's my direct relation to decision making in groups. So if we click on read first, I put the announcement here about the canned food drive. Don't forget that that's going on until November 16th, and for every item that you turn in is one SAE hour. Remember that Sunday, you owe me 24 hours and 8 pictures. 24 hours, 8 pictures coming up this next Sunday. Our objectives are to apply foundational life skills learned through ag in the school and community setting, demonstrate compromise, consensus, and community building concepts for carrying out different task assignments and projects. And then our standard is apply problem solving and decision making skills to address agribusiness issues. Okay, so let's see. Our bell ringer is the first thing, so I want you to take 5 minutes to decide who in this class will get a free 100 daily grade and explain to me why you chose that person. I am really looking for how you choose to make a decision. Like what is important to you in making this decision? Who do you think deserves this? Or maybe they don't deserve it and you just have a reason why they should get it. And I want to hear that. I want you to explain that to me. And then I want you to think about if you were happy with the decision, what challenges did you face? Okay, so making decisions as a group can be very challenging, but it is something almost everyone has to do pretty often. If everyone disagrees, how do you make a decision? So we're going to talk about today how to go through some processes of how to make a decision, maybe when people don't agree or maybe everyone does agree. So think about these questions I'm about to ask. What if everyone agrees but one person? When an emergency comes up and you have to make a quick decision, how do you do that? What if no one knows what he or she wants or no one cares what the solution is? What if the process is taking forever and no one agrees? What do you do then? So all of those situations that I just brought up are tough. Learning how to make group decisions is a skill that will help you with the rest of your life. And we're going to learn about 5 different ways to make a decision. So we're going to learn about authority, expert member, majority vote, committees, and consensus. So if you look at notes here, I defined each of these. So authority is a person in a position of power that makes the decision alone. So in FFA, the advisor, which is your sponsor, your teacher, they are probably the authority person. They make the decisions because I'm in a position of power as far as our FFA is concerned. You could even go and say that the president of our chapter is in a position of power and they make the decision alone. An expert member is a member with expert knowledge that makes the decision for the group. So an example of this that I can think of is if we had a problem in the greenhouse and we brought in an extension agent that knew about what to do, that would work. Or maybe outside of agriculture, think about a doctor. So there's usually a team that's working on a diagnosis or what's going on. And the doctor is the expert member with expert knowledge and makes a decision for everyone of how they're going to treat it. Majority vote, the decision of the majority prevails. So if we were voting on something in FFA, I would say, or the president would make a motion, we would vote. Most people that say yes or no, that's the decision we go with, is what the majority of the people say. Committees is a small group of members that's chosen to make the decision for the group. So if we have a program of activities, which is our FFA calendar, if we have a committee for our POA, then that committee makes the decisions for all of our activities throughout the year. And then a consensus is everyone discusses and compromises until each member of the group agrees on a decision. So everyone comes to the same conclusion. So you're going to be faced with decisions your whole life. Sometimes choosing the best method of making a decision makes the process much easier. Sometimes we don't all need to share our point of view, but sometimes it's a must. Okay, so a thing that I'm doing in class with the students in class today is we're going to come up with a motion that goes with all of these. So like authority is going to be like this, and then expert member is like a clap. We're going to come up with a motion for each of the 5 decision-making ways. So maybe you want to do that. I'm not going to require you to do it, but it's to help you remember it. So like authority, I did this because like soldiers have authority, or I guess that's just how my brain works. And so you can choose a motion to go with any of those and make it into like a little dance type thing, and that'll help you remember them. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing together in class today. So just knowing the 5 different ways to make decisions isn't enough. The most important thing is knowing when a certain method is best for what you're doing. And so I have an assignment about the advantages and disadvantages of decision making of the 5 different types. So if you open up the Google Doc, make sure that you're highlighting your answers, and you're going to list 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages for each. So let's do advantages, disadvantage, advantage, disadvantage. Okay, so authority. So remember we said authority is when one person is making the decision for the whole group. So list 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. I would say some advantages of authority are simple routine decisions. It's fast and easy. There's not really discussion, and it's good when people are looking to a leader. Sometimes it's the best when the leader steps up and makes the decision for the group. Some disadvantages is one person doesn't always know enough, or maybe one person doesn't know exactly what the group is thinking or what's best for the group. So that could be a disadvantage, is you're not really hearing people's opinions. Some people could resent or disagree with a decision that's made if it's made just by someone in authority. And if a decision is made by someone else, sometimes everybody's not committed to that decision, and so they're not really in it. Expert members, some advantages are it's good when one person is the clear expert. So like if one person knows the most about this topic, then that's really good for the group that we have someone that can do that. Another advantage is it's a quick decision. It doesn't take much time. The expert makes a decision for the group. Disadvantages are sometimes it's difficult to choose an expert. Maybe you have 2 people that are experts on the topic or know a lot about a topic. How do you choose which one's the expert, and how do you choose which one makes the decision? People aren't committed. There could be anger or jealousy because they weren't chosen as the expert. And sometimes the team misses out because you don't get to hear everyone's ideas. So very similar to authority. Majority vote advantages, a good way for everyone to share their opinion. So you kind of get to hear, there's some debate going on about what, trying to get to persuade the group to decide on what you want. Reaches a decision quickly. So it's just a quick vote, in, out, we got it done. Disadvantages, isolated minority. So with a majority vote, if everyone doesn't vote, then there are people that disagree, and you're going to have that minority, and they're going to feel isolated because we just saw everyone vote. Everyone's not committed, so that minority probably isn't going to agree, and they're not going to want to do it. And it can hurt future community building. Committee, that's when a small group makes a decision for everyone. It's good for when everyone can't meet, so you have fewer people to get together. Excuse me. For a committee, you have volunteers that want to work. So you have people there that want to work on that specific topic, and it helps on time. So a disadvantage is it doesn't utilize the knowledge of the whole team. Some people may feel left out, and it could cause some arguments. Okay, and a consensus. Advantages is it's usually a high quality decision because you've compromised. The whole group is in agreement. It involves everyone, and it builds relationships and community. Some disadvantages, it takes a great deal of time and effort to get everyone in a room, for everyone to come up with a compromise to make everyone happy. And it requires experienced, mature team members. If we have someone immature in the group that's not willing to compromise on how they feel, then a consensus is never going to work. Okay. So then you have an assessment, and it's just some scenarios where you're going to choose which type of decision making is best and explain to me why you chose that. So a group of students is planning to put on their first teacher appreciation banquet. The group is deciding what to serve at the breakfast. All the members of the group will be required to put on the breakfast. If the breakfast does not go well, the school may never give money to this breakfast again. Which decision making method would you use, and explain your answer? So in order to make this decision where all members of the group will be required to put on the breakfast, which type of decision making do you think there should be, and explain why you chose that? Your FFA chapter wants to create a website but can't decide which format to use or how to create it. John is the only person who knows much about websites. The chapter tries to discuss it, but nobody understood what John was talking about. People trust John and his ability to work with websites. So which decision-making method, and explain your answer. The place where you normally meet is taken, and you have to find a new place to hold the meeting. Sarah, the chapter president, usually sets up the meeting. Which decision-making method would you use, and explain your decision. And then each year, your chapter creates the winning fair exhibit. This year, there are 2 ideas for a theme: You Are What You Eat, or Agriculture All Around You. Only a group of students will work on the exhibit. Which decision-making method would you use, and explain your answer. And then for all of these, I just put all the decision-making methods. That way you could see it easier. Your chapter is taken over the concession stand for the big football game. You have to choose what to serve and how much to charge. Last year, the same 4 people always handled the concession stand decisions. Nobody has a strong opinion except for the 4 who worked there before. Which decision-making method would you use? And then I think that's all I have for you today. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget the canned food drive. I hope you're happy and healthy, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.